We are live, Jax. We're back after 3 weeks with another lovely, excitable episode of our podcast.
Oh, why not? How are you?
I am fine. Don't want to play that server anymore.
Well, we seem to have quite a few things to talk about this lovely week.
We have Superman.
We do. I definitely believe a man can fly after seeing that.
I definitely believe that. Seriously, as we both know, I have said this vocally many times on this show. I don't like Superman as a hero. Like, I don't. I don't like. I always find him genuinely boring. But I love this movie.
This was very, very well done in so many ways.
This was quite literally a This was not just like, oh yeah, this is a superhero movie again. It was, this is fucking Superman. This is like don't get me wrong, I don't read a lot of comics, but the few I have read, I went, am I just watching a Superman comic, not a.
Well, I mean, this arced back to a hell of a lot. In all honesty, we had very much influences from as early as the original Golden Age comics to the Fleischer cartoons, all the way up to Richard Donner. I mean, the beginning part of the music was straight from. I mean, the first few tunes was the quintessential score from those original movies, going into James Gunn's version with the heavy electric guitar, very similar to how Top Gun was. So yeah, there is. I mean, it was a heck of a lot going on, and so many eras being displayed as well, which is something that's very, very nice and rare. I'd hope it was a bright film. It was a beautiful. The beginning. I mean, we should start off here where, right at the start, because Gunn has giving you everything you need. Yeah,
that
in a text scroll,
so good.
It tells you. It tells us where we are in the world.
It's like,
and what's going on.
It's like this hero, this alien from outer space crash landed, metahumans, and the rise of them. And then 3 years ago, Superman revealed himself to the world.
Well, yeah. So it actually starts off in quite an interesting place. So this whole phase, shall we say, for their chapter for this series is Gods and Monsters. So this does, and I do think this is the beginning to scroll there. Plus, all this gave us a bit of clue of what we're going to see. It starts off three centuries ago. The first metahumans appeared. And these were the gods and monsters of the age. And then it was 3 decades ago, Superman lands, on the planet. 3 years ago, so Superman becomes Superman, and the world is introduced to him. 3 hours ago, or 3 weeks ago, the incident in Bravia happened in which Superman stopped a war. 3 hours ago, the fight of the War of Bravia started in Metropolis. 3 minutes ago,
Superman was defeated for the first time. It's like,
Superman was defeated for the first time. And then 30 seconds ago, he lands. And so you see everything going on. So the beginning of the film is kind of midway through a fight you would see in a comic book. But it's given all the things you need to know there. That things have been going on at least with Superman for 3 years. That there are metahumans or things around. The world knows what's going on.
Yeah. And the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
I love the Justice Gang.
The Justice Gang was funny. It's going to be interesting to see that change. But we didn't. I mean, that we don't have yet. I mean, this is still.
I love the scene from the trailer that we've all. Did you not notice that almost every scene we have seen from that film in the trailer, right, was in the first 20 minutes of the movie, basically.
This is actually what I was going to mention. So the trailer, weirdly enough, and I don't want this to be a spoiler for anyone, is actually a weird mix of the very beginning of the film, like say the first 20 minutes of the
Mhm.
film, and the last half hour of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's very interesting the way that they've done it, because although those bits in context are like, oh wow, these are parts of some big key point scenes. In the trailer, it does kind of make it look like that would be stuff you see right at the very beginning, and does seem kind of inconsequential, but shows you some good action. It actually turns out to be some big scenes later on, and I'm not going to tell you which scenes those are in particular. But yeah, so we had some really cool stuff there, and it was lovely. It was bright. It was colourful. Superman looked great in a proper sort of 40s looking costume.
Oh yeah.
It was 50 era costume. And it's silly things. It's the way that he talked. After having been irradiated by the sun, he healed and he falls off his bench. He says, "Oh golly."
Yeah, it's like
just a nice touch.
it's just like, and this is classic Superman. And I think, like, before getting to a lot more of this, right? There's something we both should describe in this that I think we'll both agree with.
Yep.
That in this film, right, we both got similar vibes from this film before going into any more of the stock, because we are going to go over a lot of spoilers in this episode of this film.
Yeah.
But we got the same vibe from the film, but for two different eras of Superman.
Yes.
This felt like this didn't just feel like a, yeah, here's a Superman movie where this is all established. It felt like this is the Superman that, like, for me, this is the Superman that is from the Justice League cartoon. This is that Superman, just like on the big screen. It's not. I know it's not a continuation, but it feels like one. And for you, it was a continuation of an earlier one.
Yes, I mean, I could for me, it was the Fleischer cartoons that it felt like. So, which is the cartoons from a lot earlier, the original, wonderful cartoons by Max Fleischer, famous for Superman and Popeye. There was so much of that, just goodness, and decency, and just the way that the colours were shown and the images were shot. It was, yeah. That's what I just felt so much of that being put through. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It was so good. Like the opening bit of, and then, you know, if that is literally from the trailer, it's the scene from the trailer we see of him whistling because he smacks into the ground and he just whistles, and then you just see Crypto running straight towards him. And but I do love the loving bit of it's just before Crypto runs towards him, you see the fortress rise from the desert as well.
That was another beautiful look. And once again, this is and these are all things that are great things to look at for a number of reasons. So the fortress and this film takes things from the films and from the comic books in very different ways. So the Fortress of Solitude there, which so many people go, oh, it's great, it's done exactly from the comics. Well, that style of fortress with the crystals comes from the film. That was from the first ever film back in the day, Christopher Reeves. Because if I remember correctly, it was a cave with a big S door beforehand. So yeah, so that was nice, but it did actually change something. Now, all of them, and we discussed this as well. This is a trope from the movies, and people got a bit confused about it because they've not seen this if they've seen the movies. Is both Clark's parents being alive? This was a movie trope where they always got killed. One of them died. If you actually watch things like the early parts of Smallville, for example, which not the best representation because the actor had to leave to do other things. Both parents are alive, even though he's a younger version. In the Superman Lois and Clark show, both parents are still alive. The most recent Lois and Clark TV series, both are dead. But they're playing a very, very older version of the character than we've actually seen before on screen. But then in the comic books, standard situation is the Kents are alive. At least well into his Superman era. So yeah, even in the comic books, it was only a recent thing that Superman would grow up without parents, and that was because of an effect from Doc Manhattan from the Watchmen universe. So yeah, it's so people getting confused. Like, why aren't his parents dead? They're not always dead.
But to be fair,
They're very rarely dead, and this is the film.
Yeah, and it's like, so it says also, they're literally. It's like, I'm sorry, but there is no way. Like, I will say this, and I don't know if you'll probably agree with me, but the biggest thing that like kind of breaks the Snyder version of Superman for me in Man of Steel is the scene where his dad sacrifices himself.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. In all honesty,
I'm sorry, but even I'm like, no, no, we would not have picked that.
There was 100 different ways that Clark could have fixed it without it being the same. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many reasons why that wasn't a very good representation of Superman. And to be fair, that is the least of it. But it is right. It wasn't needed. And I mean, also with the Henry Cavill and the Snyder stuff, I mean, you kind of had a Superman there that really didn't want to be Superman anymore.
No.
And where's the fun in that? With the most hopeful character next to Wally West, the most hopeful character in the DC canon. So yeah, in this one, it was nice to have a Superman that was happy to be Superman.
Oh yeah. It was also like, I'm sorry, but like, the minute he gets like his gets hit by the radiation, the sun gets powered up again. The fact that his very first instinct, this was it that immediately cemented that this is a Superman movie for me.
Yep.
Was even though he wasn't fully healed, what was it? His first thing he wanted to immediately do.
Got to get back out there.
Yeah. Also, Alan Tudyk is brilliant as number 4. It's like I recognise that voice immediately. It's like, oh look. It's Alan Tudyk.
Yep.
But like it was also, I did love that that scene as well. If you actually paid attention, that is also one of the scenes from the comics when like one of the scenes from the comics. I can't remember. I don't know exactly. I've seen the panel that was straight up like just ripped from the comics with the the robot that he's talking to. He looks and he just goes, he's looking at me. It's like it's straight up like a full-on scene from the comics. I'm like, this is very much like the more everything I saw of that, like the more I saw of it, the more of everything about it, the more I was like, yeah, this is a Superman movie. This is like faithful to the comics.
Well, I mean, one of the things I really enjoyed within the movie itself and the way it kind of did things was with his interactions with other people and how they interacted. And this is one of the things that people have complained about again, and I'm not quite sure why, because it does show perfectly who the characters are and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Was the fact that literally about 10% of the film is Lois and Clark just talking to each other, and particularly 2 big conversations. The interview at the beginning, and that's because.
Did you know that a scene that didn't test well that James Gunn refused to remove from the film though?
What was that?
Well, I will. It is the squirrel scene. It was
really people didn't like the squirrel scene.
Yeah, they were like, "That's not realistic. You wouldn't do that." And I'm like, and it's like, no, I'm keeping this. He literally went, "I'm not removing it. I don't care." And to me, that scene was straight up. This is Superman because
it was the Superman scene.
Yeah. It was straight up the scene that to me went, yeah, this is Superman. This isn't like another hero. This is Superman, that scene. But like the fact, you're right though, there is, like he did say he took a risk in putting a 12-minute talking scene in the film where they're talking.
For me, it worked. It was a great way of showing. Once again, there was.
It's establishing that they're both together. It establishes that. Yeah. It establishes the personality types. It also establishes it establishes Lois's insecurities as well, quite like really well. In that scene, the fact that she's But it establishes that this Lois Lane, unlike the Lois Lanes we've had previously, which is, I think it's the thing I said to you the other day, she is a love interest second, and she is a reporter first, like in like terms of what her character is in the film. And legitimately, I'm like, yeah, this is how she should have been written. It's like, because no offense, so like the original Christopher Reeves like films of the Lois Lane, there she was a really good Lois Lane, but I think even you can agree with me that sometimes that she was just the damsel in distress, and I don't think it was the actress's fault. It was just the writers were like, nope, Lois is just the damsel in distress. She just gets herself into these stupid situations just so that she can be rescued, basically.
In many of the cases, that was exactly it. Yeah.
Whereas in this, it was straight up. Even while
she had urgency.
Yeah.
She
had her urgency. And she also had agency.
She was very much her own character. Yeah, agency. That as well. And she was very much her own character, and yet done incredibly well. I mean, there's nothing there I think you could complain about.
About Lois, no, definitely not. It's just, she's one of those things. It's just like, okay, this is Lois Lane. This entirety of that movie, she felt like this is Lois. This is not.
Oh yeah, I'll say that.
This is Lois, not just this is Superman's girl. This is Clark Kent's girlfriend. This is her own character in this bit. She was.
I say so that was a great scene, but then it was also her how she was getting the story done at the end as well, which is another big scene with just her doing what she was doing. And yeah, it was just done very, very well. Literally, you know, she's reported as she's going. That's her deal, and that's what you kind of got in the comic, especially later on. And yeah, not saying we've really seen since the Dean, in my opinion, the Dean Cain Supermans, where you know Terry Hatcher was out there doing her reporter thing and getting in trouble and even getting herself out of it. Because people forget there was the whole story arc where she learned martial arts, so she didn't have to keep worried about shouting for Superman and hoping a hero would save her.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of them things. It's like Lois Lane is always been a character that is meant to be a reporter, but in like almost every movie, she's basically just the love interest.
Yeah, she's falling around after Superman.
Yeah, and this film is like, no. She's straight up. She's like, no, she's her own character. Like she's even at like the start. It's like them having the argument, and it's like, you know, of like the argument after the little like she does the interview with him and that. I also absolutely love that when he returns, the Hammer basically retreats because we know who the Hammer is after kicking his ass again. Basically, that's the funny part. Is like he comes back for round 2 and immediately gets his ass kicked by him again. It's like this Hammer of Barovia.
Very good character, I think.
Yeah, but it was so it was so good. It's like, and then as I do love that it kept cutting to the real villain behind the Hammer of it just going just him calling out like different like codes.
Yeah, he gamified the fight. It was very interesting.
It's like, but I love the fact that they made Lex Luthor in this like unequivocally, even from that like establishing part of the film that you can agree with me. They established from the get-go of the film, Lex is not like the Lexes we've had in recent films. He's back to being the sort of Gene Hackman era Lex, where he's unequivocally a villain.
Yeah, I mean the way that me and my friend were talking about him, and we kind of both agreed. If you've ever seen the movie Tropic Thunder, it was very much Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. Very interesting way of portraying the character, kind of like a mix between Elon Musk and Boris Becker, just kind of freaking out when they're told off. It's very good.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it entirely. It was just like. I was like, this. I was like, the minute Nick, with the guy that's playing him, like Nicholas Hoult, isn't it?
Yes. Played Beast.
Yeah, he played Beast in the First Class films. The minute he got to started speaking, started acting like he is in that film, it was just, this is Lex. This isn't just like someone pretending to be Lex. This is, he straight up is just being Lex Luthor. He is really well done in it.
Yeah. One of the things I did find funny that James Gunn sort of had to clear up is that so many people are like, that message wasn't real. Or that message, we can find this out of that. And he's like, no. The words that you heard and the words that were translated were completely real. And that's why I've had to. And he even says, like, there's a big sort of exposition dump, not a big exposition dump, but an exposition dump from
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. Where he's like, no, I know all these people that would definitely do this, and they wouldn't say it's true if it wasn't true. Even though that's like, if they're being paid enough money or threatened, they probably would. He's like, no, 100%. We flat out argue it is real.
Yeah.
Now,
even he said it. I run it through every software I could. It's real. Like.
I still think, because of, we'll go into theories, I guess, a bit later on, but I do have a theory of how that message can be real and not his message at the same time. And all the clues are actually in the film already. And heavily implied, in my opinion. So yeah, we've got him being healed. We've got the hammer of Bravia. We've got that big great fight that we see where he where he's he gets his ass kicked and he gets saved in the end. A little falafel shop dealer on the street who gets recorded. I was wondering why it recorded this one person and not everyone. And I know later on we get a reason why this guy had been recorded, but why was everyone not recorded there? And then they got the information from that one person, and it's just like they seem to know this one person is the one we need to record straight away. It's a bit weird for me. But yeah, he has a bit of a story bit linked later on.
Oh yeah, but it's because I think it's because the way that it's because they know that Lex notices that Superman's speaking to him directly and not anyone else. Like he's talking to that one, and he mentions him by name. You know what I mean? It's like,
and also was it something at least we pointed out on this film as well, because once again the Snyder Bros have been complaining about how weak the character is. Well, a lot of stuff gets explained in this film as to why we do not at any point do we see a full powered Superman during this film. This film runs actually over the course of 5 days in their world. The moment we see him, he gets beaten. He's lost. He's lost his first fight. He goes back to the Fortress of Solitude to get fixed up, and they say you're at 85%. He goes out, gets beaten up again. The Fortress of Solitude is destroyed. A load of stuff happens where all he's really done is got normal sunlight capacity to charge him. Then he gets kryptonite poisoning.
Yep.
Then he gets charged up again to a little bit of an element, but like even the guys, they legitimately say this isn't a sun. This is going to give you a boost, but it's not going to be a sun. Like you're not.
Oh yeah, I know. But it's like,
then he gets his.
I'm skipping quite ahead in the movie of this bit.
I know, yeah. I just want to point out this. That's why I'm not really giving big clues away as to what these things are. But yeah, in the course of these 5 days in DC time, Superman doesn't get a day to heal up.
No.
From the moment from the moment he had his first proper battle that we only see the end of, he's constantly on the back foot beaten, and it's a great shot.
Oh no, it's brilliant. Like it's a brilliant way to introduce. It also establishes that, as it even says at the start of the movie, and this is the first time he's ever been defeated. Establishing from the get go, no one else has ever beaten him. Like they're going, oh, is this Superman's weak? And they're going, dude, I'm like, guys, this is the first time someone's beat him, and the person that's beat him is, as we already know from the.
As we'll find out.
We already know from like a lot of the other stuff is like we know from like the stuff like the synopsis of the initial film that's out there is that he's fighting Ultra. We know that eventually he's going to fight Ultraman in this movie.
Yeah,
but I will say this: yeah, he beats the hammer. Brovey then runs away and he's like, huh? oh, okay. And then, it cuts to the next day where cuts to, like, later where Lex is going to the fortress and he's like, aren't you worried he's going to intercept you? And like, no, I've got something for that. To which we see him unleash a tiny little weird looking creature from a van. And the guy goes, it's a bit small in it. And he's like, he'll get bigger. To which the next day we have it as a kaiju. As the kaiju that we've seen from all the from one of the trailers. And I loved, this is the other bit, one of the other scenes that to me went, this is a Superman, not this is a Superman movie. Was after the kaiju first throws fire at him, breathes fire at him, and nearly kills a bunch of people in the building. He literally flies up in the air, so it keeps firing the fire in the air and not where it can't hurt people.
Yeah, I mean, he does once he realizes there's an issue, he does whatever he can to avoid that issue being a problem again.
Yeah, but it's more the fact that he's immediately
he's not focusing on fighting the monster. He's trying to defend the people the monster could hurt.
Oh yeah, and then big thing fighting it, and then we get the introduction of the Justice Gang, of them showing up, and I absolutely adore the fact that the Justice Gang being Hawkgirl, who is absolutely amazing, and what is it? Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and by the way, the guy that plays Mr. Terrific, I am so happy that he got to finally play a superhero that didn't get fucking murdered. That not only didn't die, but finally got to be a superhero and actually get done justice as that character.
Yeah.
He even said to, is it Brian? Because Bryan Singer's the one that helped direct the First Class film still. Like, he even said to him, this is a cliche of having the first guy to die being the black guy in the movie. Like,
Bryan Singer didn't,
and it's almost like, it's also, as we've both pointed out, it's like he didn't even read the character. The character is literally able to adapt to anything. Darwin is broken. Even like the X-Men comics rarely use him, because even the X-Men comics understand no one beats Darwin.
That is kind of what happens with Darwin, though, when he is used in the comic books. Unfortunately, he is kind of used to be the character that gets killed by the villain that they're fighting. To show,
except in the Krakoa era.
There's a few where it's not, and he's just around mostly because in the Krakoa era, the big thing is that you could constantly bring these people back to life anyway, so they could just show him being as powerful as he was. Because death was not a constant during that.
I loved the Krakoa. I loved the way they used him in the Krakoa. Him, Laura, and that other mutant that could, basically copy other people's powers, copying Darwin's powers. I actually genuinely loved that, where the three of them go into the vault of the children.
I mean, yeah, there was, like I say, there was some great. There was some. They did things right in so many ways.
But yeah, it's like he finally got to play superhero, and I'm sorry, but Mr. Terrific did steal the movie quite a lot. Crypto stole the movie as well. We have Lex, who breaks into the Fortress of Solitude, releases, and then after beating this kaiju, which I love which we've forgotten the most important scene in the middle of the kaiju. The scene that I said earlier is one of the scenes that establishes that this is a Superman movie.
The saving of the kid, yeah.
No, not the savior of the kid bit in before, when that bit. He saves the kid, which by just using himself as a shield, but not just that bit. It's in the middle of this fight with this kaiju. It's the middle of the fight with kaiju. It's about to step on something, and he just immediately saves a squirrel.
Oh yeah, the squirrel and the dog scenes were fun, and like I say, yeah, they were very much within keeping of the character. I don't see why people are annoyed about those scenes. It is just a case of needing to be annoyed, in my opinion.
I think that's what a lot of the hate that this film's getting is. It's people that have, in my opinion, like, it's the people that originally we would have complained about with Marvel stuff, with people that didn't really read the comics, just saw the movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's the people that only have seen the Snyderverse Superman universe, the Snyderverse Superman and the Batman, the Dark Knight era of Batman, and the Snyder era Batman, and think, oh yeah, this is what these heroes are like. They're all depressing and dark, and it's like, no, they're not.
Yeah, kind of. Also, the big sort of what's annoying is the sort of perceived nature of um, uh, Batman, for example, is this hyper dark character. Um, and yes, he is, but not to the extreme that these people make it out to be.
No. Also, like,
You know?
even I can see from remembering the animated series of, like, just like his best friend is Clark, and the reason his best friend is Clark is because Clark is literally the antithesis of him, and that's who even he looks up to because of the fact that that's like because of him. Like, he understands Superman could be a threat, but he also knows he never would be because he knows Clark. He knows what Clark is like. He's like,
And yeah, and I think they got all the parts as right as they needed to, if I'm honest.
oh yeah, definitely. They got all of the characters right, like especially Guy Gardner. Got Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner. I will fully admit
Perfect.
I will fully admit originally when in the start I'm like I don't think it's because I'm so used to seeing him play like like really usually nice characters all the time. And then I remembered Caleb from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then I realized Guy Gardner is basically Caleb if he could quip. And was a good guy. Like, he splits Caleb, but a good guy. And I'm like, oh God. Seriously, he was perfect throughout that entire film. He was a dick, and I love it because I think we both agreed on this and said this. Him being a dick is what makes it so good because he is Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is not Hal Jordan. He's not John. Is it John Stewart?
John Stewart.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not Carl Rayner.
He's not Carl Rayner. He is. I can take Superman. You can't, Guy. You can't, Guy. I can. No, Guy. You can't take Superman.
I mean, yeah. I mean, his arrogance and his willpower are, almost completely twinned.
Yeah.
And that's what does make him so powerful. But like I said, there was a great scene in that where they're in the where they're in that in Stag Tower.
Yeah.
And it's the scene you've seen many a times where a guy puts the big green force field around the room. And it's like, look, if you're everything we're being told you are, I'm here. This is exactly why I'm here, to stop someone like you. Yeah. And Superman gives him a sort of a move, an upset move, and he's like, "Do it, Big Blue. I'll take you down.
Yeah,
take you down right now." He does. And in the comic books, there are loads of examples over different realities and in the mainline continuity of where people have had to stand up against Superman for any number of reasons. And Guy Gardner will always, especially if it's to do with Earth, and he thinks he's right, Guy Gardner will be at the front of that queue and he'll be like, "Look, I'll give him a slap.
Guy, you can't win this fight, Guy. You can't, but I'll do it. You'll do it. I know you'll try." But yeah, but it's like Nathan Fillion played Guy Gardner perfectly. It was
perfectly. I mean, there is the element of the way Guy Gardner sees it is like, if this guy takes me down right now, what does that make him look like, really? You know? He's not going to look like the good guy, is he?
Yeah. But, like, I do love that they're having their conversation. I do love that you get this scene of, they beat the fighting the kaiju, the Justice Gang shows up. Mr. Terrific's asking, "So how are we going to deal with this?" I'm just trying to get it out of the city so we can take it somewhere and study it. To which Mr. Terrific sends his what are they called again? The T-spheres?
T-spheres.
Inside the creature and detonate inside it and blow its like stuff out. And he's like, "Come on, did you have to kill it?"
You have to kill it, yeah. But all the way through that as well, I thought it was quite funny. It's like, well, no, I'm trying to find a way of
get it out of here, peaceful.
I put it in the zoo or whatever. Or euthanize it, and they're like, "Come on, man, this again."
And they're all trying to no, we need to just kill this thing and get rid of it. And he's like, "No, we need it alive. Look, it's a living thing." Because it is like even I know this from the comic with the one comic where we had DC crossover with the Alien. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That comic where DC crossed with Alien, where with Superman crossing over with Alien, and he's even in that instance, even though he's on New Krypton from the old comics where he's depowered, trying not to kill the xenomorph because he thinks it deserves to live still, even though this thing's trying to murder him. And it's like,
Well, he's always, especially sentient creatures, yeah. But like, it gets to a certain point, he will just take it out. Don't get me wrong.
oh yeah, it gets to a
Um,
certain point, he'll take it out. But he does try. He does realize he can't reason with them eventually. But it's the fact that he tries at first is what makes that is. It is him. It's like it's unequivocally he'll kill it if he has to. People seem to think Superman has a no kill rule. He does or not.
no, he doesn't know.
No, Batman has no kill rule. Batman's going to beat the shit out of you and break your bones, but you're going to live. If Superman deems you far too much of a threat to let live, he'll just end you. Because
I mean, it does come down to that whole Doctor Who kind of thing, in the fact that the reason he has rules is because he's not necessarily the best person, and that's kind of it with Superman and Batman. Batman has rules because he will break them willy-nilly. Superman doesn't have those rules because that's not his first go-to. He does, you know, if it does have to get to that point, everything else has gone bad. So yeah, it's. I mean, even then, it's like the characters that he would even attempt to try and do something like that to are so powerful. It's very unlikely it would actually happen.
yeah, I mean, is it the Elites or something in one of the comics where not comics in this one of the animated films where he doesn't kill them, he just finds the source of their power using his like X-ray vision and literally disables all their powers.
Oh no! So yeah, no. The Elites is actually a fantastic animation because it does have one of the most brutal Superman scenes in it. So yeah, he's fighting the Elites without getting to what they do and why he goes mad. But Superman loses his shit, and then the next thing you see is him going down, and he like showing them what happens when you upset Superman, and he's lost his shit. Nothing they do is harming him, and he is ripping them to pieces. Puts one into a coma, breaks one down into pieces. Like it is dark what he does. And then the final character that he's fighting is Manchester Black, and Manchester Black is like begging for his life. You know, look what you've done to the others. Like, please don't do this. And then that's when you find out the whole time it's a simulation that he put them in to show what could happen if he really did want to lose it. If he really did want to fight back against these people, this is what you'd actually be dealing with. And he scares the shit out of them. I would rather be in prison.
But it's not the Elite then. It's a different. It's another Justice League like Superman like animated movie, and it's like one of the villains in it is like laughing because I think they did something, and then tries. It's the uses mind control powers. Tries to mind control them again and goes, "Wait, why is it not working?" It tries to mind control someone else and then realizes he's lost his powers. Superman's like, and then Superman's response is, it's just like I use my X-ray vision just to find where the source of your power and just use my laser laser eyes.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So that is Superman versus the Elites, and he's fighting against Manchester Black's team. Manchester Black, you'll remember from Supergirl. He was in that, and he was like, no, I use my X-ray vision to work out what part of your brain your meta abilities come from, and then I use my laser vision to lobotomize you. You're useless. And that's it. And it all turns out to be inside this hallucination. And like I say, they freak the fuck out. It's like, we would rather go to prison than actually have to fight this guy.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculously silly. It's not. It's like this is what happens if you piss the guy off. Because even Batman knows we don't piss Superman off. Why? There's a reason no one pisses him off.
Yeah, it'll cause you damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had that.
Yeah.
Right, that was a great animation.
But yeah, but that scene though is like they find the kaiju, saves the girl is the first thing he does in the middle of that scene, and then immediately like during the fight, you know, he's trying to stop it. The Justice Gang shows up. Then you know, as they're helping fight, it almost kills not kills a squirrel, and he immediately goes and thingies the squirrel.
Yeah, if people complain about the school scene, have got issues in life.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm just like that's just Superman to me. My brain just goes that's a Superman scene. That was
just a fun little thing within the battle, just to show that he's Because there's loads of, I mean, there were so many little bits in this that didn't need to be done. That really does show that they were that like James Gunn was thinking. So in
Yeah.
one of the scenes, and it is where he then goes down to save the woman that's about to be crushed, and he flies her onto the roof of the building. If you actually look, what he does is he attacks the kaiju,
Mm-hmm.
and then turns around and flies away backwards, looking down to see where the thing is falling, where it's doing, to see what is going on the ground for the people. And that's when he sees the woman. And I thought that was a good, because like they could have just done it where he flies off, and then the next thing you should see him do is save the woman. That's not what happened.
No.
I'm sure him actually scouting the area to see what was being done and what he could then do next. Genius. Not needed. Looked wonderful.
Yeah.
If you notice it, you notice it, and it's good. If you don't notice it, it doesn't matter.
Well, the thing is, one of those scenes, it's like, yes, this is Superman. This is establishing that we have Superman here. He's a hero. You know, this is the hero we wanted. This is what we want. And it's like establishing that it's not the monster he's bothered about, it's the people. He's just trying to protect them from it. And then, you know, you get the bit after that, after he saved her, and he goes back to the fight, and then, you know, the T-spheres go inside the creature's body, detonate it, and he's like, and he gets mad at them for killing it, and then he has to stop it, from make sure it falls safely so no one gets injured when it dies. And then, you know, saves that little girl, and she's like, yay, thank you, and everything. And then the Lex interview comes on the TV. And it's the way that it's so natural, though, how everything just everyone turns on him. The way from it is like, it is literally the way the reaction would be, is like, just find this out, your hero is there. His message is like this.
Yeah, it is finding out something horrific about
A beloved person.
the guy you let in your house. You know, that you love. And people love Superman. They loved him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was possibly the worst thing you could imagine.
I actually love I love the entire bit of that scene where because that's the scene before we get to the door, the bit where Guy, you know, uses the stuff to block him off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To block off the crowd. I love that it's just him walks into the stag facility himself. He doesn't use his powers. Like, there's people throwing shit at him, and he just walks in. Like, because even he's in shock at this point. You can see he's visibly in shock.
This is not what he expected. Yeah, this was not what he expected.
No.
So yeah, no. Once again, yeah, you're very much right.
And then it's like,
all of that scene was played out so well.
So well.
You could see it was a gut punch.
Yeah. It's a sucker punch to him. It's a sucker punch to...
Here's the thing, because we actually know the context now. I know people were upset about the way that they did it, was that in the original version of it, the can gets thrown at Superman's head, and as it hits, he blinks and looks down. And because I didn't know the context of it and shit stuff, I was like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Like, he wouldn't get affected by it. But then because we know what the context is and everything, it was like, well, actually, he's not really flinching because it hurt him. What's hurt him there is that the people have turned on him and something he has held true his entire life might not be true.
Yeah.
That was the pain. It was actually emotional pain, not physical pain. He was wincing. And yeah, I kind of wish they kept it.
It's such a good scene as well. But also, it's not just that makes it such a good scene. It's straight up that you get that scene, you get the whole him and Guy having this argument, and then Guy going, and then, you know, him getting told the message is real, and then him going, wait a minute, figuring out how Lex got the message, and then, you know, just straight up flies off to the Fortress of Solitude and finds it, you know, in the wreckage it is. And I think me and you both agree. We agree on this scene. We both would agree it would react the exact same way he did once he couldn't find, when he can't find Crypto.
Yeah.
We'd both crash out at that bit. I think anyone in reality would crash out with your dog. But I think I prefer the funny joke reason of the real reason that he crashed out hard about Crypto. He wasn't exactly so much saving the dog. It was trying to save the world from what's going to happen when that dog's owner gets home. that dog, you're screwed. Because
It will be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting to see what version of Supergirl we're getting. But that's for later on.
yeah.
The first time I saw it, I've now seen this film multiple times. I will say I have enjoyed it that much. I did say very early on in this, I think in one of these podcasts, I did say if I enjoyed this film, I would see it multiple times. It would get my money. I have now seen it 3 times. It is a good film.
Oh yeah.
Now,
if I had time, I'd go watch it again. Just like.
But the first time I saw it was with my friend Mike. He's a big dog lover. He is, and he has history in comic books, especially the Superman stuff. And we watched it, and that scene where, like, when the dog gets attacked originally, you can see he didn't look too happy. Every time the dog turned up, he was happy. But when Superman come in, breaking the door down, smashing up Lexi's office, like, where's my damn dog? Mark's like, yeah. Where's my no, you're about to get punched in the face by Superman. Where's my damn dog?
Where's the damn dog?
And yeah, it's so good.
Such a good scene, because it's like, and like, I'm sorry, but is there anyone who's owned a dog? I'd crash out the exact fucking same. You stole my dog. You're dead.
Oh my god, you're going to have problems now. But yeah, no, done incredibly well. I cannot complain.
I can't complain either. It's just a brilliant scene, though. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's it. They did, all the scenes were done. There's not really much I can complain about. Well, in any real manner. The only thing I didn't like really was how apathetic all of the Justice Gang were. Really, I get it. In many ways, in a number of the stories, it's shown that it's Superman. His spirit is hope that brings these people together to do things altruistically for the most part.
Yeah.
The versions that they're saying that we're getting of these, like Guy Gardner, I get it. He's just a hard-assed space cop. Right, you know, all he wants to do is kick bad guys' asses and then have a beer. And he has got a dickish sense of humour. Not a particularly nice guy, but he always does the right thing. He's just sometimes he's an arsehole about doing it.
Also remember, he likes to make up rules. What do you mean? Oh, that's what he says about any time there's something he doesn't want to do.
I did find that very funny.
It's like this,
that is kind of a
guy.
I mean, that is quite, weirdly enough, that is this thing. There is historic reference to this, and it is Guy Gardner actually having a go at the Guardians for doing that. It's like, oh, every time we need to do something that you don't want us to do, but it's something we should do, you found an old rule that prevents us. And he's doing the same thing. It's like, it's not part of our credo. Screw you. We're meant to do good.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing there. So I think it's quite funny if we find out that actually, you know, he's a bit of a more downtrodden version of Guy Gardner at this point in time, where the Guardians have him on a bit of a leash. And that's why he's where he is.
But I will say this:
Mr. Terrific is only meant to be. Mr. Terrific is only really meant to be arrogant. I mean, the whole thing of fair play, you know, he will always do the right thing. And yes, he technically is the hyperhero of this story because he always does do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he acts very dismissive to everything and just nonchalant. And then the Shah of what that we've got as well. There's no compassion. It's like, oh yeah, but we can't do that. Or why would I care if it's not part of a mission? That's not.
I think the thing is that the reason why they're established as the Justice Gang, sponsored by Lord, you know what I mean? Maxwell Lord, is that I think at this point those three heroes are just essentially heroes for hire, and it's the end of them. It's the end final act of the film is the bit that basically makes them all realize, no, we're meant to be heroes. We need to do the right thing, because you can see it from the end of it, where the final act, which we're not to yet, but then we've got, you know, as after this he crashes out, and then
get your point about what the Justice Gang are. My friend pointed this out to me when we was watching it and talking about it. We don't actually see Maxwell Lord's Justice Gang turn up until the Maxwell Lord building is hit by the kaiju.
Yeah.
And that's why they're there, because one of his buildings have had damage, and that's how they get involved. It's literally got nothing to do with them being heroes at that point, because they weren't sent out in the first 10 minutes fight. They weren't sent out during the Hammer of Baravia fight. They were sent out when Maxwell Lord's building got a ding.
Yep. They are essentially at that point heroes for hire. They are corporate sponsored heroes. Also, I do like, but I love that after that bit we get the visible crash out with Lex, and then when he meets Lois again, Lois' partner, and she asks him the question, and he's like, and even she goes, "No, you are definitely not here for that," because even she's like, "I know you. You are not that person." And I do like that is also the scene that we've seen in the trailer where where him and Lois kissing, and the creature in the background, and I like they even have the nod in that scene of her going, "Do you not need to go help with that?" And he's just like, "No, they've got it. It's just a fifth dimensional imp."
So this is so much went on in that scene, which I think is fabulous. For a start, it shows that the universe is a
Alive.
completely free flowing alive one, because there was superheroes in the middle of a battle whilst you're watching a film with another superhero, but it's not part of his story. That's just going on. They've got that. I don't need to be there. I can focus on what I'm focusing on, and today I'm focusing on where's my damn dog. I don't need to find that thing. Where's my damn dog? So
I like also in that scene is we get the hint that the dog isn't his when Lois asks, "Do you have a dog?" And he just goes, "It's not my dog." And he's like, I'm like, uh-oh.
But yeah, it's nice to see a universe like that. That's kind of what Marvel was missing, because instead of doing something like that in the background, or even having another battle going on in the rest of the world, because a big argument is why are you doing this? Why is Iron Man fighting this person when Thor and everyone could turn up and help? Well, if you put down in the background in a news report, Iron Man's fighting such and such. Oh, that makes sense. It's kind of what they did here, right?
Yeah.
But in reverse. The reason Superman can't help you right now in the fight that's going on over here, that we're not following, is he's looking for his dog, and you can deal with that. The way he's looked at it, you can deal with that fight. You're powerful enough.
I also like that this even shows the way he is, like the kind of hero is, the kind of person that the Superman is, very much. Like in that scene where he just straight up goes, like when she's talking to him and says, "So what are you going to do next?" And he just goes, "I'm just going to hand myself into the government." Like, he is not a villain. He is not what, not even that what Lex is trying to make him out to be from using the message and stuff. The actual message stuff. He is just a good person. He is a hero through and through. He is. I will submit myself to being arrested because I can't. I'm not the villain. I'm not going to run away and and get chased down by people. I'm not a threat.
I'm going to give them everything they need to prove me honest.
Yeah.
If that means I have to go inside, go to prison for it, or be arrested for it and interviewed, I'll do it.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, this one, it's like these moments, like the squirrel scene, the little girl that nearly gets hit by everything and he just shields her with his own body and everything. Him willing to give himself up and stuff after this, you know what I mean? And all that. These scenes, all of them, are essentially, this is Superman. This is not a Batman masquerading as Superman movie or an edgy character like a Homelander movie. That is Superman.
Yeah. And he's doing what he's supposed to do very well. Like I say, very, very, very well done. And the arresting is quite interesting because we do have General Flag there, and you can see that even these guys, like Cadmus, have had to basically bend over for Lex Luthor because he's the only one that can hold these people. And yeah, so we get to see his prison. Now this is part of what I'll be talking about later on with my theories. He has a what was it? He has an interdimensional portal or something. Can't remember the exact term he's used, but it is built in the space
He made a pocket
between
universe.
pocket universe, built in the space between two realities. And so that's where he keeps his prison.
Yeah. That's where he keeps his prison, and it's such a well done scene. I'm not even gonna lie and say it isn't. It is such a well done bit. Like him giving up Lex, getting him in the thing, and going, and this is my friend. He's got a certain set skill. He can recreate any element.
No, I wasn't expecting much from Metamorpho. I've got to say, done very, very well. He's a complicated character to put on screen. He has got issues. He's kind of like the Sentry in Thunderbolts. There is a lot of issues within that character to portray and to understand why he would be doing multiplicity things. Why he'd help one, then easily switch to help someone else.
I love that. I love how they established why he was the only reason he was doing what Lex was telling him to do, though. Like this. Yeah, it's like it's such a brilliant way of doing it. It's like you're establishing this guy isn't a bad guy. You're immediately establishing that a Metamorpho is not a bad guy. He's literally only doing this because he has no choice. It's either his child's life or I do what Lex Luthor tells me to do. And I'm not losing my kid. And I'm like, no one can say.
Like I say, done incredibly, incredibly well.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is how you do Metamorpho, because Metamorpho should not. Like, I don't even know the character that well, and I was like, okay, I understand. But I also understand he's also one of Mr. Terrific's teammates on his particular superhero team that he usually is part of.
In many ways, he's a very much an OP character that now gets used in other ways. Mm-hmm. He's one of those characters that they do usually pull out when it is a Superman level threat to fight, along with Captain Atom, and these are technically full power. These are the powerhouses that could fight Superman. But it's interesting to see them at these states where they've not learnt their powers to that extent, or they've got other stuff going on that makes their situation a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I love it because it also establishes that, as we said, it establishes that he's not a villain. He's a hero. He's not a villain, but he's not a hero or a villain. He is just there. He's not there because he's a bad guy. It's like, and it's him basically generating green kryptonite, and it's the fact that it's like even that green kryptonite, Superman is still like alive, and then but he's being tortured, and Lex showing him his prison, and then also I think we can both agree, James Gunn did make such a meta joke with the monkey farm.
The monkey farm was hilarious.
It's like it is a meta joke on. This is kind of what you all sound. It's what people that just constantly post. Oh, this is shit. This is shit. This is shit. Kind of sound like some people do. That just sound like you're just a bunch of monkeys typing on a keyboard.
And it's so funny. One thing that did make me laugh, because it was just funny.
The hashtag super shit. I hate that one, Lois.
Was hashtag super shit, and not because of its context within the thing. It was because straight away I actually saw that was being used by the Snyder Bros as an insult. I was like, you can't use hashtag super shit and hashtag save the Snyderverse and all that shit together when it was literally created as a joke against you people.
Oh yeah. Can you
actually using it is funny. But yeah.
well done scene though. Like it was the monkey farm, and then he's like hashtag super shit, and he's like as the joke, and I'm like, yep. I was like,
It was fun.
it is funny, but it's also it establishes as well that Lex just hates him. Like it's just straight up. Lex is not like a villain because
And it's not. He even says it. It's not a rational hate either.
yeah,
It's just hate.
he just hates him. Like he just hates him so much, and it's like, and I'm like, we have old Lex back. We have Lex as Lex like was established in like the old comics. He's not. He might be like one of the smartest men in the world, and he could do so much good for the planet, but he's petty and he hates Superman for no other reason than he just hates the guy. Like, because he's like, you come along and you do all this shit with all this like good for a thing, and it's like, you're just perfect. You're too perfect. I don't like it.
One thing I do find funny though is that because of what's happening with Fisk in the Daredevil show, it means it's very unlikely that we'll be going down the line of Lex Luthor being President Lex, which I think is quite nice, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But also that bit, and then he's like, and here's my private prison. Some people are political prisoners. Some people are my ex-girlfriends who wrote a really bad blog about me. Just like he's establishing that Lex is fucking childish. He is petty as shit, and I love it, and I'm all for it. Like it's like I hate you because you're too perfect. Why is she locked up? Because she wrote a bad blog about me, and she's my ex-girlfriend.
It's the fact that he's like he doesn't like petty girlfriends. Like, well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, isn't your current girlfriend a catty girlfriend?
No, he said he doesn't like petty girlfriends, and it was like, well, wait a minute, you've literally looked her up because she wrote a blog about you. You fucking genius.
I know, I love it. It establishes him as he's like, it's an irrational hate for you, but I hate you.
Yep.
I just hate you. And I love it because it is establishing that Lex he might be incredibly intelligent and smart, but he's a bitch. He's a petty little bitch, and I love it, and I'm all for it. I am all for petty Lex, because petty Lex is like the best Lex, if you ask me. No, I don't hate you because like I am this amazing super villain and stuff, you know what I mean?
No.
I hate you because I just hate you. I don't have a reason, I just fucking hate you.
Pretty much.
And it's like this is Lex Luthor. This is the Lex Luthor I want. You know, Lex Luthor that is I'm not, you know, I'm here for this Lex Luthor. This one just being petty and being such a child. He's basically just childish in the way why he hates him. And it's like, I don't have a reason to hate you. I just do.
I just do, because I can never be as good as you. I can beat normal people. I mean, he pulls out the Galileo and Einstein.
Yeah.
I'm better than all them. I'm better than all, because I'm on the playing field with them, but I'm not on the same playing field with you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I love it because it's like, you've established that Lex Luthor in this universe is just petty. Like, he's intelligent, he's smart, like he's brilliant, but he is just a petty little bitch. I'm like, I love it. I can't argue with Lex being a petty little bitch, because that's what Lex should be.
It's just so funny. But yeah. So from there,
I just drowned myself. Okay, but whatever. But yeah,
we get a number of things shown to us from this point on. We know that, but we have one of the darkest scenes in a Superman movie I think I've seen in a Superman movie.
Which is?
Well, honestly.
Oh, I know what scene you're on about.
When they bring in the little black guy.
Well, between this and this, we have Lois go to the Justice Gang asking them for help. And we get one of the best Guy Gardner. We get the best Guy Gardner scene, in my opinion.
We get a perfect Guy Gardner moment.
It's just like, you know who he is, right? Yeah. Of course I know who he is. Yeah, so you know Clark Kent, right? For fuck, God, he trusts everyone.
It goes through everything. Though. It's like, so you say you know who he is? Yeah, I do. No, he doesn't know. Yes, no, Israel. But you know about the hypno glasses,
She's like, yes, I know about the hypno
which,
glasses, and I'm like, for God's sake.
which once again, that is an old throwback to something from the comics.
It's just straight up, guy. It's just such a brilliant joke. It's like, well, I just found that both of his teammates are being sarcastic to him in the background, going, "Well, she does now." Oh shit!
Yeah, if she didn't, she does.
It's just like, I love the fact that they're both just being petty, just being sarcastic and shit to him whenever he says anything, because he keeps accidentally revealing stuff about Superman, not knowing if Lois already knows it, and it's so brilliant.
So good, so funny.
Like, so you know he's Clark Kent, right?
And yeah,
Like
the final bit, you know, he's Clark Kent, and that just made me laugh because that was just perfect.
It's the perfect Guy Gardner. It's also the Lois's reaction to that bit is so perfect. Why does he keep trusting everybody?
You're idiots.
And also then pointing out to him, you really, next time you're going to ask someone if they know who someone is, you should, and start telling people stuff, you should really check they know this shit first.
Yeah. Well,
I love the fact that even Lois, oh yeah, what is it? Your haircut should be a crime. Wait, what? There should be a law against your haircut. I'm like,
the people complaining about that, his haircut.
That's Guy Gardner's.
Watch the cartoons.
That's Guy Gardner's
It's
fucking
always
hair.
been that.
Yeah. It's so good because it's like even the film makes fun of that because like Guy Gardner's hair is ridiculously bad. It's like, but it's meant to be bad because it's meant to be bad because it's Guy Gardner's hair. He's a character that was drawn in what was it, the 70s, 80s, and they just never changed his hair because it's just like it's his iconic look.
Oh, but no, here's the thing. The character is meant to be a complete douchebag. And what is more douchebaggery than a guy that thinks he's hyper cool with a bowl cut?
Exactly.
I mean, it's Arnold Rimmer. It's the shit-eating grin. It's perfect. But the character's got so much heart. I mean, also than anyone else, literally other than probably Superman or the Flash, no other character would fight harder for the man on the street.
Yeah.
Like not just the kid, but the homeless guy, the corner shop bar owner, whatever. He'll be like, no, fuck it, they need to be protected too. He's an intergalactic superhero with very street level
sort of like morals.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that, and then she's walking out because both Hawkgirl and him won't help. Won't help, as we pointed out, that it's like they only got involved in the kaiju fight because the Maxwell, but the Lord building got damaged.
I told you,
yeah. Because basically, oh shit, this has been damaged. You need to go help. Okay, but it's like it does establish that at this point. It's why, as I said later in the movie, that act. That's why I think that act is the point when they all realize that no, we need to be heroes. We can't just rely on the fact that doing what Maxwell tells us to do.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to do what's right.
Yeah, and I'm like, I love the fact that when she leaves, it's only Mr. Terrific that comes on and helps, because he's like, no, I'm gonna go do this right. I lost because he wants to know where the hell he disappeared to because he was like following him and then his signature until a certain point. I put trackers in him. Wait, you put trackers in Superman's blood? I did to all my friends. Wait, what?
Well, that's the thing.
That's
the thing with Mr. Terrific. I mean, there's a couple of things there, depending on what version of the character you're getting. I mean, yes, he does believe in doing the right thing, but in many cases, he's kind of more interested in the technology there.
Yeah.
There's something new, an interdimensional rift. Well, that's not smart, but how's it being done? So yeah, I mean, even when he gets there, he says, you shouting, what are you doing? Downloading everything. That's more of the reason why he's there.
Oh, yeah.
And to help, obviously, but...
I love the fact that, yeah, I also, that sequence when, flying in his UFO, they land, and they're like, and that whole sequence with the T-spheres was so good. The fight
Oh,
sequence.
very much so.
That fight sequence of of him just like dodging people and all sorts, and the T-Slayer just smacking people in the face, and then putting Lois under the shield. I'm like, you've established that this character is actually really good. Like,
It is a vast difference from the Mr. Fantastic we got from the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Terrific, because they kind of ran out of money and they kind of picked the wrong actor to be heroish. And so, we never got that version of him, which is a shame.
Yeah.
He's.
It's why I say it's the actor that's playing him is the guy that Eli that also played Darwin. This is kind of like his redemption into being a superhero like character. He got to be like a actual, survive the film, but also be like one of the badass characters that helps save the main character. Like he was genuinely really good.
But I was so happy with what I got. But one of the things I'll quickly point out, because we skipped over it before I got to mention it, was during that scene we talked about earlier with the heroes fighting the creature in the background and Superman and Lois talking. What we were told there, what that creature was.
Yeah, it's just a sixth dimensional imp.
It was just a sixth dimensional imp. Fifth dimensional imp. Now we only really know of about 2 or 3 in DC universe that are canon, and that is Mxyzptlk and Batmite being the 2 major ones.
And those two just love to and those 2 have 2 heroes that specifically they like to mess with.
Yeah. So it's got to be interesting to see if that means we are getting a Mxyzptlk or Mxyzptlk in particular being an appearance in these movies. But what is interesting is there would be a way to find out. Mxyzptlk, since its original appearance, his stories, whenever he appears in either live action animation or comic book, actually make a timeline sense if you know which is the previous version they were from. For instance, he loses his hat in the comic books.
Yeah.
And when he appears in his hat appears in the Supergirl TV series. Yeah. And Mxyzptlk appears in the Supergirl TV series without his hat and mentions it got stolen by someone. And then he gets it back in the comic books. He gets it back in one of the animations, I think. And then the next time we see him in the comic books, he's got his hat. So yeah, he is fifth dimensional. He's one character that bounces around through all the different multiverses. And if that was him, that may be his appearance here, and it'd be quite cool. Or it could just be a rando.
I think it's a rando in this case, because I think if they're going to put him in the film, they're giving him a chatty part, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I mean, there's loads of stuff going on in this film that shows that there's other things going on.
Oh yeah. But also, let's be honest, I don't think he'd appear the way he appeared and be doing what he does there. He'd be probably causing some chaos by directly interacting with Superman at that point and going, "Hey, I'm going to mess with you today. What? I'm going to change this and this around. God damn it, Mxyzptlk." Because it's usually
Anyway, so that was just one little hit
reality and have a little bit of a laugh. And it's kind of funny. It's the running joke with him. He like him and Batmite. Batmite does it to Batman. He does it to Supes.
Yeah. That I did find a little bit interesting, because that is, if you're using that as a reference, that is a big reference to use.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So back to where we were. Superman is in his prison. We've got that going on, and you've got the fear scene. This gives us some more exposition about what is actually happening around and why there might be a problem with Lex's portals. Because here's the thing: when I first saw those, and I don't know if you did, because I know you're not the biggest of DC followers, I thought they were boom tubes. I was like, shit, Lex has got apocalyptic technology, so we're going to be getting Darkseid.
No, we know it was.
But yeah, no, it was something completely different. But the reason they can't be left on is important. They start to get this weird crusty thing around.
Yeah, it's because as Mr. points out when he first Lex created his own dimension. It's not it's a pocket. It's not just he didn't find a way into it. He created his own pocket dimension, basically. And as if you leave them on, they start getting out. But we go back to Superman at this bit while they when they're trying to figure out how to turn it on and everything, and we get the scene that I think is the darkest scene in this film of Lex with the dictator of Barovia, the leader. Oh God.
Yeah, and they play Russian roulette with the guy and make Superman answer questions, and it doesn't last long. And it was
yeah, he what is it, Malik off the little guy we met earlier, who was established earlier. Superman knows this guy.
It gave him falafel once.
Yeah,
for
free because he saved his life once, and it's like this guy who's relatively a minor character. Let's both be honest. He's not a major character.
Yeah. No. All they've done is show that he has interacted with Superman on 2 occasions at least.
Yeah.
The first time he was given free falafel. The second time he helped him out of a hole.
Yeah.
And this guy dies for it, and it's what affects.
It affects. It's what basically breaks. I forgot Elemento out of his. Metamorpho. That's it. I can't because
we'll call him the Elemental Man because he does have many names.
But yeah, it's what Metamorpho basically snaps him out of it and goes, because Superman earlier says, if you just stop doing that, I could save your son. Trying to after seeing, and the guy says, no, shut up, and then basically puts the stuff next to him.
Yeah, it makes it worse. But he cracks. He's like, he can't be part of letting people just die like that. Innocent people die.
It's funny. He breaks down in tears. Establishes that he's not. Even more establishes this guy is doing this because he's being forced to, not because he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, and depending on the version of the character, he is not a trained hero or villain. He's just a normal dude with powers. And some of the things that have happened to him in the course of these things have been really dark. And he's scarred by it.
Yeah. I just saw a fucking pack of raptors.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is one of those things. It's a scene. It establishes that this guy is not a bad guy. He's just, he's not a bad guy. He's not really a villain. He's just a normal. He's a dude that just happens to be a meta. He's just a meta. That's it. And he's
being used to do some terrible, terrible things.
Yeah, and it's and I love the scene because it's such a good way of establishing this guy. Because it's the fact that Superman just starts crying over this guy who is as we both said, he's not actually that integral or important to a character. He's just a side character. We've met one scene in it, and it's the way that Lex even says, "I'm going to kill everyone you've ever interacted with, whatever helped." And that bit, and maybe next time, what I'll do is
ever been near you.
Yeah, maybe I'll go get that reporter you always do the interviews with, Clark Kent. To which, as the audience, we know, but as someone both of us who have seen the comics and read the comics, it's the fact that Lex is that convinced that Superman wouldn't have a secret identity, that he cannot see that he would never imagine Clark Kent, because he constantly says on even in the establishment, even the Arrowverse showing the Crisis of Infinite Earths, when Lex steals the book and starts going through all the different universes and stuff, he's Clark Kent's. It's funny, Clark Kent's Superman in almost every universe, which is funny because Clark Kent in my universe wouldn't be. He's a bumbling idiot. It's he can't conceive that Superman.
He literally can't conceive that Superman
would have a secret identity.
He'd be having a secret identity, but would look and act so ineffectual in his normal day-to-day life. That obviously, if he saw Superman every day, he would be amazing. You know,
Yeah.
he would be the golden prince, and he's not.
He's not. He keeps himself low, and he's mild mannered farm boy Clark Kent. That's who he's always been in the comics. Who he always forever is. That's why his morals are the way they are. Is because he was raised by two Midwestern parents that are basically that are that very much with him. Very much found an alien on their farm that crash landed on their farm, and very much did everything they could to cover up the fact that he was an alien to protect him and raise him as a child. And it's like, yeah, they didn't do this on. They were just kind-hearted people that just saw a child in need and went, "We're helping this child."
I think they wanted a kid and they couldn't, and
Mm-hmm.
this was their opportunity, and they gave them the best possible.
Do you know that? And
Yeah.
another thing that a lot of people forget that it's, I think it is established quite a few of the comics universes that they did actually initially turn him into an orphanage first, to only adopt him the day after, to have official papers for adopting him.
I mean, yeah, different things, different times.
Yeah,
different
in a lot of
stories.
universes they do that. It's because it's so that officially he's adopted and officially was born a US citizen. If you know what I mean. Like as part of it, and make it legal because then no one can ever question where the hell this child come from. It covers them.
Well, I mean, in America, there's so obvious as well. There is so often home farm births that there are many reasons how you could book a child in that young. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but like James Gunn said, none of this stuff actually matters.
Yeah.
If you want to see an origin of Superman, you've got 1,000 origins of Superman.
Yeah, it's the same thing Feige said about any of the characters we see now in the MCU that are introduced. We're not going through their origins again. We've done that. We're bringing anyone we bring in now. We're bringing in as established hero. That's why you're not seeing Uncle Ben die for the 15th time. He did technically break it with Spider-Man. I'm not even gonna lie. Not in the sense of he did the origin story like fully, if you get what I mean, but in the sense of he
changed who
dies and did the whole origin for Parker in a different sense.
Yeah, in a very different sense. Yeah, no, you're very right. But done very well. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, done very, very well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's done very well, and it's like it's established as well. It's like it establishes the superhero that these, because it's establishing a living world. Where like, if we skip the origin story for characters we've already seen the origins of before, and we're bringing them in, you're establishing that these characters are actually just heroes that have been in the background. That it's only now they're doing something that's like noteworthy. If you like, not noteworthy, if you get what I mean, but like that's worthy of them showing up.
Where we're seeing them in their universe.
Yeah.
No, this is it. We're not.
We don't need to. We don't need to watch Clark
to
Kent grow up again for the 15th time. We don't need to watch him first come out as Superman and all that. It's like no. It's better if we have him established. Why? Because then we have a Superman that is, well, super.
Pretty much.
We have a Superman that is very much the hero beloved, and we get to see one of his trials and tribulations rather than, because I'm sorry, but like it is the hero's journey in the film, like. Because that midpoint where Lex reveals the truth, and it is essentially the hero's fall from grace, part of a hero's journey where they have the complication. But the whole film is a hero's journey done, in my opinion, from the right point of Superman's history of this is Superman that is that is here. He's been established. We don't need to see Superman. And it's also people that were like, as you said earlier, people that are saying he's weak compared to Cavill Superman. I'm like, Superman is not meant to be a god. He is not meant to be. I can beat everyone without ever struggling. The villain Superman fights are meant to be capable of standing up to him. Like Lex's way of standing up to him is Lex uses his brains, not his brawn, to beat Superman. Even when he makes the super suit to give him the same powers and strength as Superman to fight him toe-to-toe, it is establishing those comics bits that Lex is using the fact that he's watched this man for years, watched him how he fights, to counter him. And he's using his brain.
But also,
knows
the other simple side of it is that at the end of the day, Superman won't kill him.
Yeah.
Because he's a human.
Because a human. It's like Lex and plus Superman. Even Superman get always. It's every time in every comic I've ever read for Superman and Lex or the TV shows. He always sees the good in Lex, even Lex Luthor, who is like in most of the time irritatingly. He's not because he's not actually like. Even this film establishes he's not technically like actually evil. Well, he is a bit. This one is more evil than what we get, but he is also insanely just petty and jealous of Superman. To the point of
one
where
of the things Superman,
he's unhinged.
one of the things Superman's always said to Lex is that if your hatred of me was surpassed, all these things you talk about, like there's not enough food in the world, not enough energy, not enough, the things you could accomplish by not constantly trying to attack me is amazing. Yeah. And if we could work together, the things we could achieve are amazing. Why do you not want that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is it? The one universe where Lex is actually one universe where Lex is a good guy and Superman's the bad guy. That Lex, even that Lex, is basically trying to better the world but can't because that world Superman is. Yeah.
Yeah, the Injustice universe is a pretty fun one to hang around in. It's got to be said.
Watching Lex turn from the side of evil to good because Superman is turned evil is kind of hilarious in that one. But I'm not on about that. I'm also on about the so, but like it's three. We've got this bit where he knows, and then Amazo goes, "I can't generate the sun after he knows it. Why do you get? Because I need the sun. The sun's how I get my powers. It's like I can't give you sun, but I can generate something similar to give you a boost." To which I love that he starts putting together all the stuff. Like it's like because he can't like become a sun, but he can create the elements that make up a sun. And it's like, this is a really good way of establishing Metamorpho's powers as, you know. And I love the two people in the cells either side, both of them going, hey, what are you doing there? You're going to get us in trouble. Trying to call the guards.
You do not want any more issues from this dude. And then again, I always find that quite selfish as well, I'll be honest.
What, them?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, one's a petty ex-girlfriend, the other one's the other dude's. The other dude, I don't know who it was. It was just some random dude.
It's random, dude. It was interesting when we saw that scene, though, because when they were talking about how this was a thing between two universes, all of those things that people were talking about, going like, "Oh, did you see that there's multiple Supermen and multiple Rios in there?" And more in there. I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's actually what we're going to see," and this makes so much sense for the Ultraman and da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't what we got.
No.
It just ended up being a mass prison. One thing I will say, though, which I think is interesting, and I wonder if you might think the same, is that we know one of the films we're getting is a Clayface film.
Clayface.
Now, in certain ways, when the actor that plays the mayor of Baravia started doing things, did you not think that was a bit like Clayface, like the little dance he does when he's talking about how Superman likes the Baravian women? That little thing, I was like, oh shit, is this Clayface the whole time? Is the Legion of Doom already in play?
Could be.
But yeah, so I was interested in things like that. I thought that was interesting. And I do hope that we get something from that, because I do think, especially after we've seen Clayface being used in Creature Commandos to do actually stuff like that, I would very much like to find out he's been around for quite a while.
Oh yeah, but we get this bit where and I love the little scene where they're all out going, and then Metamorpho makes like that bright blast for sun basically for a split second to give him a bit of power, and it's how fast he just shoots out of the fucking through one prison from his prison cell straight into the other one, and you're like, oh, it's like, and that's not even about full power. That's him just like with a quick burst of sunlight. Probably, it's like 15% power or something, like not even like and it's just like, yeah, like I know when I'm calling him weak, I'm like, dude, he literally just got blasted with the power of the sun slightly for like a split second to get after being kryptonite poisoned for what is probably like 2 days. You know what I mean?
Well, at least a day, yeah.
At least a day and a half, and he just immediately broke out of his cell, flew straight across and saved a dude's kid immediately, and then fights all these guards and everything, and we get and rescue Crypto, because we have to rescue Crypto.
That's what Crypto.
I know, Crypto is awesome. Crypto is just awesome. Crypto is like legitimately. I was so happy to see Crypto, and I also love the fact that the way that the Crypto in this is based on James Gunn's actual rescue dog that he owns.
Very naughty rescue dog, yeah.
It's like, no, because like he put a video on his like on like his socials basically of his dog watching the that scene, and his dog literally just acts like Crypto watching the scene. And I'm like, yeah, I could see how he based it on Crypto on that dog. It's just super excited.
Well, it was just, but it was just silly, funny bits though. It's like the way just like in the scene where we'd seen just destroy stuff the whole time, like that's what dogs do.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's also an unruly dog, in this case.
But what I did find incredibly funny though was like in the moments it counted, the dog was also an arsehole.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just like in this moment we need the dog to do exactly what it does. No, he's still going to do exactly what that dog's going to do. An arsehole thing. Although in that final bit it was like, get the toys, and the dog was like, oh yeah, I'm getting the toys, man. These are my toys. Yeah, that's what saves the day.
Oh yeah, but no, it's like that entire bit though of them getting Crypto and saving Crypto and everything. And I love that Lex's like raptors, as they're called, aren't they? My game is lagging like shit. I don't know why, but yeah.
Lexobots, which we would normally call Lexobots, but they had people in them this time.
Yeah, his raptors, his established raptors that the military had hired to deal with threats like Superman. And I'm like, it was such a well done. Like, the fact they're like, get him, he's not even at full power, and he's still beating the shit out of all of them. I'm like, dude, these guys are designed by Lex to fight him, and he's kicking their ass at like when he's barely even any power.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite lines as well. Actually, it's like, he's not even at full power. It's like, you're dead. You're already dead.
I'm like, I think the reason I take such offense to the Zod scene in to go back into Man of Steel for a bit, the Zod scene where he kills Zod, and it's not because he kills Zod, it's because there were so many other ways out of that scene that he could have used, that are established 100%. In the film, for him to just break his neck, just was out of place.
100%, I'm with you there completely. It was overkill for overkill's sake. That's it.
Yeah. Now it was just not It was one of those scenes. I'm like, this is not a thingy scene, man. This is just a,
Yeah. Well then, So anyway, they managed to fight their way through. Yeah. It's quite a big fight scene, and we're getting close to time. But we do get a great battle with Superman and Ultraman again.
Well, we finally get to know that he's Ultraman, and then we get we get Ultraman and the Engineer fighting him in the Well, no, before we get that, when he's getting free, we have Lex open up the rift and basically lock it so it can't be closed. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, I mean,
Just
I'll not give everything away.
It's like, but no,
yes.
It's one of those. No, it's just one of those things that it's so established. It's like, oh yeah, okay. You know what I mean? It's like, oh okay, this is.
We do get two interesting things here. That this version of Ultraman. So he's called Ultraman, but we find out it's not actually Ultraman that we
were used to. Yeah, it's
a clone.
It's a clone
of Superman.
I cloned you. I got all your powers, but none of your brains.
Yeah.
And the minute you said that, my mate, I went, "Oh no, that's not who I think it is it?"
Well, this is part of where my theories go that we'll probably talk about next on the next podcast. It does set up. I mean, the fight is very interesting. You see Superman get damaged, for want of a better term. He gets his ass kicked. And it literally has to use a bus to win the fight.
Yeah. It's not just getting his ass kicked. It's that he's getting his ass kicked because Lex is in charge of him. And then as he realizes how Lex is winning the fight, tells Crypto, get the toys. Because it's established at this point, Crypto keeps attacking T-Sphere. Kept attacking the T-Spheres throughout the whole...
He likes to attack these things, so he's gonna might as well use him to his full potential.
Yeah. And it's like very much established that this... Excuse me. It's very much established that Crypto likes to destroy the T-Spheres and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going after anything that's bullshit. So he tells him to go and kill all the cameras. And as Lex starts losing the cameras, Ultraman initially starts losing the fight. And did you notice that after a few seconds of being beat up, he starts actually winning again until he gets to the point where like, oh no, he's learning, get it? Because he's now learning.
He's got a bit of self-preservation going on.
Yeah.
Instead of just listening. Yeah, no, done very, very well.
Yeah, it's very well established in this bit. It's like, okay. It's like, and then we, the reveal it's clone. We could tell from the clone, that is gonna come back as that clone. If it's a clone of Superman, anyone who's like a comic nerd, we know that's Bizarro in this case. That's going to be Bizarro.
It's going to be a Bizarro, yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Him
coming back as a hero, because let's be honest, it'll be, as well, somewhat a hero. It'll be nice to see Bizarro on the big screen because I like Bizarro. Bizarro is like, he's DC's own parody of their own like most powerful superhero. Like they made their own parody of Superman, but with Bizarro, and I'm like, I like it because he is genuinely like this whole. He's like I think wholesome's the word I want to use for him. If that makes sense.
He's a simple guy. Yeah, he's simple. In many ways, he's very rarely malice in him.
Yeah, it's very much like established as this is Bizarro. He's a bit dumb, a bit thick. We know this, but he's Bizarro, and we kind of understand at this point that Bizarro is not.
Weighs the full ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you understand that Bizarro is a little bit thick.
But yeah, so anyway, that fight concludes with
Bus.
us and Black Hole.
Yeah, I think the establishing part about that is bus.
Bus.
But not just a bus, dislocating his own arm to smack him so that he hits him with the bus, so the bus hits him at the right point. That is such a it shows that even Superman's not dumb. He's using his brains.
And he actually dislocates his arm doing it, which is interesting when you watch.
Yeah, no. If you don't notice, he dislocates it on purpose and then puts it back in, and it's such a well done scene. Yep. It's establishing that he's not just like this big blue. He's a big blue Boy Scout, but it's establishing as well that he is a hero. He is not. Yeah. He's willing to sacrifice, to do anything to to protect people or try win. I also love that afterwards when he's lying down and behind the thing, recovering, of the Mr. Terrific finally showing up again and going, "Hey, you're gonna quit messing around." I'm not messing around. I'm doing important things. It's just like
doing important things.
It's like it's like I love it because it's like he's straight up. It's establishing that Superman is Superman. He is humble, but he's humble, but he's also but he's also a proper character that's that's just and it establishes that. And then the third act of this film as well is we have because Superman's been locked up, the country of Barovia is about to invade this other country again.
Yeah.
Baravia's going to invade this other country again, and it's this whole lineup of them at the border with tanks, jeeps, and it's all these civilians that are lined up on the other end that are just willing to die to defend their home. And you got those three kids, by the way.
Yeah.
the three kids, like, you know, putting up the flag to, you know, for they're all just like, "Save me, Superman."
Yeah.
That scene is beautiful and emotional, especially in the bit when that lone kid out when the others start running, when the, you know, the tanks and the military start coming, and that lone kid who's just stood there, and then
Really, I mean, he is such a symbol of hope that you know, they're almost guaranteed that this guy is going to come and save them.
yeah. It's also it's established well that they're also asking for his help even after everything that Lex has put through. In fact, it's like that's one of the things that, like, it's like, because he's trying to decide whether to go to Barovia or to go to help Mr. Terrific. He's like, "I've got to go help them." He's like, "There won't be a thingy left if go stop Barovia if you don't stop this thing." You know what I mean? There's the big writ. It's like, and
it's also like, kind of showing that the only people that really have an issue about what he's doing are the ones that have access to Lex's social media bots and that aren't actually affected by what's going on.
Yeah, which I will say this: this story is very much prevalent to what is something happening on our planet. We're not going to mention, but but it's like. It's like that bit where that lone kid's like willing to just stand there with the flag and you've got the soldiers all pointing the guns at him, and then the green box just appears around him. It's just like, "Sorry, kid, Superman's busy. You got an upgrade." Just like, oh yeah. And I'm like, that scene with Guy Gardner showing up and just, you know, kicking the shit out, and then Metamorpho showing up as well, and I'm like, okay, you have just established that like Superman's escaped this prison with Metamorpho, and that these guys are awesome, and also like, asking him if you can join, and going, "Oh, we'll have to take a vote," and then he goes, "You have to join Just King. I like that name. Okay, you can join," because everyone disagrees with Guy on the name of the group. The Justice Gang. Everyone else is like, "This is a stupid name. We're not having it." It's like, you can join. I need a vote on my side. But it's like, I love that watching them take out, you know, the military bit and like save all these things, and then you get, you know, it cuts to, you know, the palace of the dictator, and it's, you know, Hawkgirl kicking the shit out of all of his fucking, you know, of his guards and everything, and then picking him up and just flying with him, and he's like. And him gloating, going, "You're like Superman. You won't kill me." I'm
not saying that.
Just like,
great.
Just no, I'm nothing like Superman. Drop. I will actually admit, I like the transition, even though we don't get to see him splat. I like the actual transition of where he's about to hit the ground to when it just drops to Lex dropping something in his drink.
No, his lumbar dropping and Alka-Seltzer in his drink.
That's it, yeah. Lombard dropping a seltzer in his drink, and I'm like, that is such a good transition. So well done. The fact that she just, you know, that she dropped him on purpose. It's like, it's like, you know that she didn't save him. But it's like, it's such a well done bit, that scene of it, and then with you know, as them escape as Lumbar and Lois and Perry and Jimmy, who, by the way, have you noticed that both Jimmy and Ned from Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Are the Marvel and the DC, as people have making the joke of the Marvel and DC's gods of picking up women, are the two nerdiest guys out of the team, because they seem to be, because Ned seems to always be able to get like any girl he tries to flirt with, as does Jimmy, and they're like the most like average looking dudes out of the group. It's like
yeah, there's reasons. There's reasons for that.
No,
Jimmy's case.
It's because it's just the funny joke that people have come up with from both of them. The fact that they're the two that keep managing to get like a new partner in almost every movie or something, and stuff. And it's like, it's a funny joke. We know the reason why Jimmy is, because Jimmy's just naturally charismatic. He's actually a pretty cool person. I mean, he dates Kara at one point. He dates Kara in some universes. But yeah, it's like Jimmy and Perry and all that, and like, you know, escaping on the you know, the thing on the Mr. Terrific's like UFO thing, because Like, and her dictating the story of everything that Lex has done, because as established, Lex's girlfriend's been taking selfies, and she's actually smarter than we thought she was. She was deliberately making sure that all the evidence was in the plain view, in case she ever needed something to protect herself against Lex. And it's like, it was so good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was such a good episode of such a good film, and it's like, you get this third act is Superman, beating up all the Raptors, beating up the villain sent to stop him, and everything, and then finally getting into Lex's, thing, base, his base, and basically, override Lex trying to escape in his portal. I love that Lex immediately trying to escape in his portal, and then Superman just flies out of the fucking portal and just grabs him. It's felt like Superman don't even punch him or anything. He's just he just stands there and he's lecturing him, and I'm like, yeah, you have literally established that this is Superman even more, because he's not going straight for the fist or beating Lex up like like a lot of other heroes and stuff possibly would. He's literally trying to talk. Even now, he's trying to talk Lex down.
Yeah, and then of course the final punch comes in from
the best boy, which Superman has to save him from Crypto. It's like, no, put him down, boy. I love it.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, other than a few minor little bits.
Oh yeah, that's the major gist.
That's kind of it.
It is. It's like, and then we get the lovely end credit. Not in the credits. The end scene of, as he's taking heals from his robot, and talks to his robot about and this stuff. Kara bursting in and going, "You moved the door." No, it's in the same. Yeah. No, it's the same place. Where's my dog?
Yeah, sure. So that's the link to our next film, anyway.
I
thought, to be fair, I thought the very final cutscene, the very final end scene, was the better one, in which Superman and Mr. Terrific are looking at a building in two halves, and it hasn't been fully connected properly. It's just out by like an inch. And he's like, and Superman's just looking at Mr. Terrific. He's like, well, "Can you fix that?" "No, I can't fix that." What?
I missed the end credits because I left before any scenes that were in the credits themselves. But yeah, I'd love the Kara bit though. It's the fact that it also explains why Crypto is completely unruly, because the very first thing that he does when Kara shows up is straight up doing what he did to Clark at the beginning, of just grabbing her by the shoulder and just smacking her into the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a good scene. It's just like, it establishes why Crypto is the way Crypto is, and also establishes that this is Crypto's owner. It also, I like that we're getting Superman, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, rather than I'll be honest, rather than classic Supergirl, where a lot of classic Supergirl she is just Superman but a woman, if you know what I mean. I like that, even though we're getting Silver Age and Golden Age Superman essentially, and Silver Age of a lot of the characters, we're getting Kara from a modern one where she's, where she is literally, I woke up, my nephew that I was, my nephew I was sent to protect, my cousin I was sent to protect, is fully grown up. You know what I mean? It's fully grown up, and I've literally woken up right after, and Krypton, my homeworld's gone, and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's just.
It's interesting to see how this plays out.
Plus, we're getting Lobo in her movie, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna go kill myself in this game now. Ah. But yeah, as everything from this film is established, I was like, I absolutely love this film. Brandon Roth loved this film as well, by the way. He's seen it.
Pretty much everyone's loving this film that has any kind of common sense. It's just done right.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what is coming soon.
I love that James Gunn has already put a poster, of the Supergirl, and then it's got Supergirl look out, and instead of look out, it's like crossed out with and then written in scroll look. Sorry, instead of look up, it's scrolled out and goes look out. It's like, yep, we're establishing. Unlike Superman, might be is like, I'm truth, justice, and for a better tomorrow. I'm the happy, hopeful hero. Yeah, she's the one that kind of just destroys shit because she's a bit.
Yeah, she is.
She's just fucking. She's just dealing with shit. Like, I like that we're getting a car that is at this point going to basically be dealing with the PTSD side of stuff, rather than like, as much as I love the CW version of Supergirl.
We don't know yet.
The CW version of Supergirl, I love her version of it, but Melissa Benoit's version, but that version is basically had kind of a Superman origin a little bit because she grew up on Earth rather than arriving as as like a teenager or a teenager and adult
almost fully grown.
Yeah. So in her case, it was it was basically they gave her Superman's origin and changed it quite a bit. I prefer when I'm so glad we've not gone the clone route, because I forgot that at one point.
Yes, there's loads of stuff that go into the whole Power Girl origins and things, and a whole space plasma creature. But yes, we will see where it goes, because it looks like we are heading towards a crisis within James Gunn's sphere of doing this. So we're going to see what happens. Like I say, next podcast I'll give my predictions
theories
of things, because we'll also have Fantastic Four by then. I don't know. Hopefully you'll have seen it by then.
Well, I'm seeing it next week. I don't get to see it. You're seeing it tomorrow when it comes out. I'm seeing it next week.
Yes.
So I'm going to avoid as much spoil as possible. I'm just excited to watch it because I like genuinely everything I've seen about it. It makes me love it, and I'm seeing the full speech from Jocasta.
Yeah.
Of her literally telling them before she does I herald his beginning. I herald your end.
Yeah.
The bit before that was she's straight up telling everyone, hug your loved ones, say goodbye. And I'm like
I say, we'll talk about all those things next week.
It's just like, yeah, I can't wait to watch to see that bit in the cinema and watch that, because it's good. Fantastic Four, as we both established, I'm a Marvel girl. Marvel is my thing. It always has been. Always will be. Marvel is the thing for me. Marvel, Fantastic Four, is in almost every established universe, is technically in every universe, they are the beginning of the age of Marvels, as it's called. Because they're the family that shows up. There might be characters, heroes and villains that are before them, but they are the ones that herald basically this mass explosion of mutants, superpowered people, superheroes and all sorts. They're the ones that kind of herald the rise of them, rather than them being this rare thing. They're the one that basically, when they arrive, it explodes for some reason.
Well,
I'm going to say goodbye. Then we'll see you in 2 weeks, because we are going back in 2 weeks as normal.